That rust spot on your car is not just ugly, it is a countdown timer. Every single day you leave it untreated, it is spreading underneath the paint surface in directions you cannot see, eating through the metal layer by layer, moving toward your frame, your wheel wells, your undercarriage, until the day a mechanic puts your car on a lift and tells you the number that makes your stomach drop. And that number is going to start at $1,500 and climb from there depending on how long you waited. But here is what that mechanic will never tell you. What the body shop industry has spent 70 years making sure you never find out. A $2 liquid available at any hardware store right now stops car rust permanently. Not slows it, not masks it, stops it completely at the chemical level and prevents it from ever returning to the treated area. $2 against $1,500 to $10,000 at any body shop in America. They didn't hide this because it fails. They hid it because it works too well. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you is going to change how you look at every rust spot on every car you ever own for the rest of your life. And it is going to make you genuinely furious at an industry that has been extracting money from American car owners for 7 decades, based entirely on the assumption that you would never learn the chemistry they learned in 1953. Let me show you what rust actually is first. Because the body shop industry has done an extraordinary job of making rust feel mysterious and technical and beyond the ability of any ordinary person to address without professional equipment and professional pricing. It is not mysterious. It is one of the most well-understood chemical processes in materials science. When iron, which is the primary component of your car's steel body panels, is exposed to oxygen and water simultaneously, an electrochemical reaction begins. The iron atoms at the surface lose electrons to the oxygen molecules. The result is iron oxide. What you see is that orange-brown surface on your car panel. That is iron oxide. And here's the thing that the body shop industry absolutely does not want you to understand. Iron oxide is chemically reactive. It will continue reacting with fresh iron beneath it as long as oxygen and moisture are present. But the moment you neutralize the oxide chemically and seal the surface from oxygen contact, the reaction stops. Permanently, forever. Because chemistry stopped means chemistry stopped. Now think about what rust is actually costing you. Not just the repair bill when it gets serious. Think about the daily cost. Your car loses between 8 and 15% of its resale value the moment visible rust appears on any exterior panel. In a vehicle worth $25,000, that is between $2,000 and $3,700 of value gone the moment a potential buyer sees that spot above your wheel well. Gone before any negotiation starts. Gone before they even open the door to look inside. American car owners in Salt Belt states, and if you live anywhere in the Northeast, the Midwest, or anywhere roads get salted in winter, you are in a Salt Belt state. Spend an average of $1,200 to $3,000 per vehicle on rust-related repairs over the life of car ownership. $1,200 to $3,000 per car for a problem that a $2 bottle of phosphoric acid solution eliminates permanently on contact. And the body shops know this. They have always known this. Every automotive materials engineer, every rust treatment product formulator, every executive sitting in the corporate offices of the major rust-proofing product companies knows exactly what phosphoric acid does to iron oxide. They know it because it is documented, because it is basic inorganic chemistry, because you literally cannot work in automotive materials science without knowing this reaction. And yet, somehow, this knowledge never made it into the conversation you had with the body shop technician who quoted you $1,800 to treat the rust on your truck. Because that technician works for a business, and that business makes money when you pay for their process, not when you do it yourself for $2. This channel exists to have the conversations the industry refuses to have. We find what billion-dollar industries have buried, and we put it in plain language directly in front of the people who have been paying for the ignorance those industries created. If you want to stop wasting money on industry lies, subscribe and hit the bell, because the automotive rust treatment industry is just one of the systems we are taking apart this year. Now, let me take you back to where this story actually starts. The year is 1953. The place is a metallurgy research laboratory at a university outside Detroit, Michigan. A materials chemist named Dr. Raymond Kowalski is working on a federally funded research project, examining corrosion inhibition in military vehicle steel. The Korean War has just ended, and the U.S. military has thousands of steel vehicles that have been exposed to coastal salt environments and winter road salt across multiple deployment theaters. The corrosion damage is significant, and the military needs a field-serviceable solution that does not require sandblasting equipment or body shop infrastructure. Dr. Kowalski and his team spent 18 months testing chemical interventions on corroded steel samples. What they find is not complicated. Phosphoric acid applied directly to iron oxide converts the rust chemically into iron phosphate, a stable, dark gray compound that bonds permanently to the metal surface, seals it from oxygen contact, and actually becomes harder than the surrounding metal over time. The treatment requires no sanding, no grinding, no special equipment, just the acid applied to the surface and allowed to react. Dr. Kowalski files his findings with the military. The protocol gets adopted for field vehicle maintenance. And for civilian automotive applications, the findings get buried under 70 years of rust-proofing product marketing that sells you branded sprays and undercoating services at 1,000% markup over the raw chemistry that does the same job for $2. Your grandmother already knew this. She used it every single day. Not on cars specifically. She used phosphoric acid solution to remove rust from her cast iron cookware, from her garden tools, from anything metal in the household that developed surface rust. She kept a small bottle under the utility sink. When something rusted, she applied it, watched the rust change color from orange to dark gray as the reaction completed, and the rust was gone. She did not know the name of what she was doing. She just knew it worked every time without fail, because the chemistry has not changed in 70 years. If you've made it this far, you already know more than 99% of car owners in America about what is actually happening when rust forms on your vehicle and why the solution has been available for $2 at any hardware store since before most of us were born. So here is exactly what you do. Every step, every quantity, every timing detail, follow this precisely and the rust on your car stops today, permanently. What you need is 1 bottle of phosphoric acid rust converter. It will be labeled as rust converter or rust treatment at any hardware store, Home Depot, Lowe's, AutoZone, or O'Reilly Auto Parts. The active ingredient you are looking for is phosphoric acid. The concentration should be between 15 and 40% for automotive applications. Price will be between $2 and $8 per bottle depending on quantity. 1 bottle treats multiple rust spots. You will also need a wire brush, the kind with stiff metal bristles, available for under $3 at any hardware store. A pair of rubber gloves, and either a small paintbrush or a foam brush for application. That is your entire equipment list. Total cost under $12 for everything, including materials to treat every rust spot on your vehicle. Now let me explain exactly what is happening at the molecular level when phosphoric acid contacts iron oxide, so you understand why this is permanent and not just a temporary cosmetic fix. Iron oxide, the rust on your car, has a specific chemical structure. Iron atoms bonded with oxygen atoms in an unstable configuration that continues to react with fresh metal underneath it as long as moisture and oxygen are present. When phosphoric acid contacts iron oxide, the phosphate ions in the acid react directly with the iron ions in the rust. The product of this reaction is iron phosphate. Iron phosphate is chemically completely different from iron oxide. It is stable. It does not continue to react with oxygen. It does not continue to spread. It forms a hard, dark gray layer that bonds directly to the metal surface underneath and physically seals that surface from any future oxygen and moisture contact. You're not painting over the rust. You're not grinding it off. You're chemically converting it into a protective compound that stays on your car permanently and prevents any new rust from forming in the treated area. This is what Dr. Kowalski documented in 1953. This is the reaction that phosphoric acid has been performing on iron oxide for the entire history of chemistry. And this is what the body shop industry has been charging you $1,500 to $10,000 to address using processes that, in many cases, are less effective than this $2 chemical conversion. Here is your complete step-by-step application. Do this on a dry day with no rain forecast for at least 24 hours after you finish. Temperature should be between 50 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit for optimal reaction speed. Do not apply in direct hot sunlight because the acid can dry too fast before the reaction fully completes. Step 1. Put on your rubber gloves before you open anything. Phosphoric acid at these concentrations will irritate skin on contact. Gloves on first, every time. Step 2. Take your wire brush and scrub the rusted area firmly. You are not trying to remove all the rust. You are trying to remove any loose, flaking rust, any paint that is bubbling or peeling around the rust spot, and any dirt or road grime on the surface. Scrub until the rust area feels solid and no material is coming off loosely with the brush. This takes between 2 and 5 minutes per spot. After brushing, wipe the area with a clean, dry cloth to remove the debris. The surface should look like solid rust, possibly with some bare metal showing at the edges where the loose material came off. That is exactly right. Step 3. Open your phosphoric acid rust converter and apply it directly to the rusted area using your paintbrush or foam brush. You want a generous wet coat covering the entire rust spot and extending approximately ½ an inch onto the surrounding paint or metal on all sides. As you apply, you will see the rust surface begin to change. Within 30 to 60 seconds, the orange-brown rust color will begin shifting. It will darken. It will move toward gray and then toward a dark charcoal color. That color change is the chemical conversion happening in real time. You are watching iron oxide become iron phosphate right in front of you. That is the reaction Dr. Kowalski documented 70 years ago working on your car right now. Step 4. Leave the application completely undisturbed for 20 to 30 minutes minimum. Do not wipe it, do not touch it, do not rinse it. The reaction needs time to penetrate fully into the rust layer. For deep rust spots that have been developing for multiple seasons, apply a second coat at the 20-minute mark without removing the first coat. Allow another 20 minutes after the second application. The surface will continue darkening and may develop a slight texture as the iron phosphate layer forms and hardens. Step 5. After the full reaction time, the treated area will appear dark gray to black and should feel slightly rough to the touch compared to the surrounding paint. This dark layer is your iron phosphate conversion coating. It is now bonded to the metal surface. At this point, you have two options. If the spot is in a visible location, you can apply a rust-inhibiting primer directly over the iron phosphate layer and then paint to match your vehicle color. The iron phosphate surface actually improves paint adhesion compared to bare metal, so the repair will hold better than a standard paint job over sanded metal. If the spot is in an undercarriage location or somewhere cosmetically less important, you can apply a coat of rubberized undercoating spray over the iron phosphate layer and leave it. The undercoating seals the surface from any future moisture contact, and your rust problem in that location is permanently resolved. Step 6. For vehicle undercarriage rust, which is where salt belt damage accumulates, fastest apply the phosphoric acid converter to the affected areas using a longer handled brush or an extension tool. Allow the full reaction time, then apply rubberized spray undercoating over the entire treated area while it is still slightly tacky from the converter. The combination of chemical conversion and physical sealing creates a barrier that road salt and winter moisture cannot penetrate. Repeat this inspection and treatment process every spring after winter road salt season ends. Walk around your vehicle. Get underneath it if you can. Any new rust development found early and treated immediately with this $2 process never becomes the $1,500 body shop conversation. Early treatment takes 10 minutes. Late treatment takes $10,000, and sometimes means losing the vehicle entirely. The automotive rust treatment industry in America generates over $6 billion annually. Body shops, rust proofing services, branded rust treatment products at $30 to $80 per can that contain the same phosphoric acid available in generic form for $2. The markup exists because the industry depends on you believing that rust is a specialized technical problem that requires professional intervention or proprietary products. It is not. It is basic inorganic chemistry that a $2 solution resolves permanently, and that Dr. Kowalski had fully documented in a university laboratory in Detroit in 1953. While you were paying body shop bills, they were counting on you never asking about the chemistry. While your car was losing resale value to rust spots on the solution was sitting on a hardware store shelf for $2. While the industry was building $6 billion in annual revenue, they were depending on your ignorance remaining intact. That dependence ends today. Your grandmother kept phosphoric acid solution under her utility sink and used it every time something metal rusted in her household. She did not know Dr. Kowalski. She did not know the chemistry had a name. She just knew it worked every time. The knowledge existed. It has always existed. The industry just needed you not to connect the dots between her utility sink bottle and your car's wheel well. Now here's what I need from you. Think about one person you know right now whose car has rust. A friend, a family member, someone who mentioned it at work last week, someone who is in a salt belt state and does not know what is building up underneath their vehicle right now. Send them this video today before you scroll somewhere else, before the algorithm pulls you away. Because every share keeps alive what the industry tried to erase. Dr. Kowalski started this information chain in 1953. Your grandmother kept it alive under her sink. You continue it when you share this with someone whose car you might just save today.